An attack involving gunfire and explosions has been taking place at the presidential palace. Now, this all happened earlier this morning, a couple of hours ago, and it happened at the palace's East Gate, and that's where reporters were gathering for a press conference with President Karzai. Well, the city's police chief now says the attack has ended. All the assailants have been killed.
Thick plumes of smoke gush from one of Kabul's most secure and heavily guarded areas. This corner of the Afghan capital, home to the presidential palace and several other official buildings, was rocked by explosions and heavy gunfire on Tuesday morning. The Taliban were quick to claim responsibility for the attack, confirming their involvement by text message. Witnesses on the scene counted at least half a dozen explosions before a gun battle ensued.
I live in this area. It was around 6 o'clock when the explosions started. Then there was gunfire and people running away. People said that they were suicide bombers.
Journalists who were gathering for a news conference at the palace with President Hamid Karzai, as well as children on their way to school, were caught in the violent exchanges.
President Hamid Karzai was in the building but was not hurt. He was due to give a press conference on the latest details of peace talks with the Taliban. The presidential compound includes some of the most important buildings in Kabul, as well as the palace. The headquarters of the NATO-led forces and the defense ministry were targeted. Fighters also attacked the Ariana Hotel, believed to be the headquarters of CIA operations in Afghanistan.
Police say all 5 insurgents, along with 2 Afghan guards, were killed in the 90-minute gunfight in the capital. It's not known the whereabouts of the president. Reporters who had gathered at the palace had to take cover. The Defense Ministry and a US Central Intelligence Agency station were also targeted.
But a NATO spokesperson told Sky News they hadn't managed to break through to the buildings.
No question at any time that there's been any breach of the presidential palace, the walls, according to colleagues, and of course the security of our own compound and those of the US Embassy is intact.
Just last week, the Taliban announced they were preparing for talks with the American and Afghan governments. But as the violence continues, a peace deal seems to remain a distant hope.